All right, so today it's Foundation Friday. This is just gonna be a chill Foundation Friday because we're gonna be trying out a tinted moisturizer, a new one by Lancome, and I'm just hanging out. It's Sunday. I'm gonna go do aerial yoga today, so I figured it would be a good day to test out something like a tinted moisturizer. I'm just gonna do like super basic makeup, how I would normally wear a tinted moisturizer, just kind of on like a running errands kind of day, where I want my skin to just look a little bit more even, but I don't want it to look like I'm wearing makeup. My camera is having so many issues today. I'm right here, bro. No? Okay, cool. Things are flashing on the screen. Great. All right, my camera's wigging out. Hopefully we can make it through this video. I feel like these cameras die like once every year, so it's about due. But today we're gonna be talking about the new-ish Lancome Skin Feels Good Hydrating Skin Tint Healthy Glow, it's called. So on the coverage thing on here, it has 2 out of 4. This is supposed to be more like a glowy, moisturizing skin tint, basically like a tinted moisturizer. So let's read some of the claims, do some swatches, and then we're just gonna jump into it. This product retails for $35. You get 1.08 ounces of product. What in the heck are you doing? Find me. All right, I'm in manual focus right now, which I never do because my camera's having all the issues. So anyways, reading some of the claims, it says it's a hydrating oil-free foundation with SPF 23 for the no makeup look. Your skin is supposed to be able to shine through. It has hyaluronic acid in it, which I like. That helps to kind of lock in the moisture in your skin. And it's supposed to give you a velvety, smooth, radiant glow without clogging pores. It says your skin will literally feel good. That's what it says. This comes in 11 shades. I have the lightest shade, which is 10 Cool Porcelain. I have no idea how the shade is going to be, but I'm going to insert swatches right here so we can see how this compares to some of my other foundations. And I'll also pop in like the Jouer Skin Tint and a couple other kind of comparable products. All right, so here are a few swatches. Right here is the Lancome Skin Feels Good tinted product in the lightest shade 10 Porcelain. Next over is the Lancome Energy Lift Foundation in 140. This one is already too dark for me, so as you can see, this one is a bit darker and it almost looks a little bit more peachy. Here's CYO Long Lasting Life Proof Foundation in 101. This is a really good shade match for me. Here's the Jouer Luminizing Skin Tint in the lightest shade Opal. Their lightest shade of this is pretty dark too. And this one does oxidize quite a bit, so it does look too dark on me once it's been on there. And then here's Dermablend Smooth Liquid Camo in Linen. So if you enjoy Foundation Fridays, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you're new here, you can join the Bayrito family and subscribe. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Let's put this thing on my face. All right, so I usually do half my face with a brush, half with a sponge. I'm actually gonna do half my face with the brush, my Sigma F80, and then the other half just with my fingers, because when I'm applying something like a tinted moisturizer, it's usually when I wanna just get out the door and there's no way that I'm gonna waste the time going to like dampen a sponge and dealing with the whole sponge thing. So I'll either put it on with my fingers almost just like a sunscreen, or I'll use a brush really quick. You guys have already seen swatches. I haven't seen the shade of this yet though, because I haven't done swatches. Oh, I like the pump. I like these little tiny nozzle things. I have a feeling I'm going to be making an impromptu trip to the camera store today. Okay, let's start out with the brush on this side of my face. Here we go. Oh, this is dark. What are you doing? This is like orange. Wow, this is heavily scented. A little bit's going a long way though, and it does feel velvety. I think they said velvety smooth or something. It has a really, cool feel to it. Doesn't feel greasy. Doesn't actually feel like a tinted moisturizer usually does. I cannot even put my finger on how this feels, but it feels very soft. I think it's looking a little bit better on camera, the tone of it, but it looks quite orange. It's definitely too dark. So since the Lancome Energy Lift Foundation is pretty light coverage, I basically use that sometimes as like a tinted moisturizer because it just looks so flawless and it stays on amazing throughout the day. So I'll just use a little bit if I want to cover up some of my redness. I talked about that in a Raves and Rejects video, but I love that foundation. But this looks really pretty on the skin. I mean, it literally looks like skin right now. And it has an interesting finish. It does look glowy. It's a very pretty like velvety satin finish in certain parts of my face. Oh God, I gotta remember to stay in focus now. It actually has a bit more coverage than I was picturing. I would say it's still in the light coverage, but I think out of light coverage, I would say it's like highlight coverage, almost to low medium coverage. If this was the right shade, I feel like I would be really into this right now. I still am, but the shade is kind of throwing me off a little bit. So I wouldn't be able to wear this on its own. I'm just gonna blend this all the way down my neck so it's not as noticeable for yoga. I have about that much left on my palette, so I'm gonna try my fingers on the other side. Whoa. It almost feels like the YSL Fusion ink or something, or like the Maybelline, but not as powdery. It's still dewy and moisturizing, but it feels very airy, like super lightweight. It feels almost like nothing. I do feel like that's one that you could just quickly apply with your fingers like that. I'm gonna add a little bit more. This does go pretty far. A little bit goes a long way. Just got a little bit too much up there. I am getting better coverage on the brush side, and the finish looks about the same. To finish off this side and kind of blend everything in, I'm just gonna finish it off with my brush. I definitely like a brush with this one. I think you could use your fingers too, but I just prefer blending in with the brush. That looks super pretty. Really pretty. It does say this is supposed to be buildable. I still have a little bit left on my palette, so I just want to add some to my scarring over here and see if it covers it up. This is beautiful. And I do feel like you can build that up. I do think it looks just like skin, but better. To touch right now, it didn't set down to like powder finish or anything. It feels a little bit tacky. I'm gonna give this one a few minutes to see if it sets down so I don't have to powder any parts of my face, but I'm loving the way that this looks right now. By the way, when I started this, it was about 9:30. It's now 9:45. So we're gonna call the check-in time about 9:45. I'm gonna do really basic makeup, like probably just put on a little bit of brow stuff, a little bit of mascara. Usually when I'm wearing a tinted moisturizer like this, I actually don't put on under eye concealer because I feel like that's one of the giveaways for me that just makes it look like I have makeup on my face. I think right now it does because of the shade. If I had a shade that matched right now, I almost feel like it could be like, is she wearing makeup? Is she not, you know? On days like this, sometimes what I'll do is just tap a little bit more actually on my finger and just kind of press whatever product I'm using under there to help a little bit more with the darkness, but so that I don't have to put on concealer. I do have pretty dark under eye circles lately too. If I'm going for a super natural makeup-y kind of look, I don't really care if I have a little bit of darkness coming through there. So I'll be back in a few minutes once the rest of my no makeup is on. All right, so the rest of my makeup is on. This is basically what I do when I want to put on super minimal makeup. I am friggin' loving this. I really have no complaints with this one right now. It's looking beautiful on my forehead. It's looking beautiful everywhere on my face. It's not creasing. It's not settling in anywhere. It feels good. My skin does feel good. I don't know what it is, but I do feel like I have just like a really rich skin treatment on or something right now. Like I said, this doesn't really feel like any other kind of tinted moisturizer I've tried so far. I'm loving this. Tinted moisturizers, of course, it would be ideal if this looks great throughout the day, but it's also something where because I usually only wear it for a few hours when I'm out running errands or doing whatever, I don't absolutely need it to last like 10 plus hours. It will be great if it does. If I want something that's lighter coverage, but that's gonna last really well, I'll either use a dab of the CYO or I'll use a dab of the Lancome Energy Lift, like I said. But right now I'm like at the point where I'm excited to wake up tomorrow so that I can try this again and put it on my face. All right, so on the rest of my face, I used just cream products. That's what I've been doing since the cheapest price products on Sephora video, since I discovered these two things. So all I've been doing on makeup days like this lately is just putting on a little bit of this cream blush. This is in the shade Blush Me by Sephora, and then also their Luminizer To Go in Miss Sunshine. Both these are super pretty, just very natural. Gives you a little bit of flush on the cheeks, but it doesn't look like you're wearing makeup. If I do powder, it's usually just right here, but on tinted moisturizer kind of days or lighter coverage, I usually don't powder at all because I'm just using cream products on top and I have dry skin. So my foundation and face products usually just stay on without having to powder. For eyes, I just used my finger and went in with the Casey Holmes palette, and I just used a little bit of this shade right here, kind of like all over my lid, and then focused it on my inner corner a little bit. Put on some Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and then my Laneige lip sleeping mask. This is always what I use when I want like really natural makeup. One thing I wanted to reiterate, as I was even just walking around my house, the scent of this is very strong. I feel like it almost lingers on your face. It smells really good, but I feel like I'm almost wearing a perfume. Like that's how scented it is to me. Keep that in mind. I'm hoping I don't break out from this. So the aerial yoga class is at 12 o'clock. So right now it's 10:10, but we're calling check-in time 9:45. So I'll probably check in with you guys right after the class around 2 o'clock. Okay, it's 2 o'clock. Rach is in the car. Can I actually use your phone? There you go. Oh, you're on here? It's 2 o'clock. So it's been on for 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 4 hours. We just did yoga. We're very zened out right now. But what do you think my skin looks like?
I think it looks nice. Looks nice.
That's good.
It's like light.
Light coverage. It's kind of hot in there. I can't tell if it's sweat or like dew. It might be a mix of the two. Okay, where's they're not shadows. So I think I'm a combo of a little bit sweaty and also dewy right now. But I think it looks good. It's not like creasing anywhere, right? Oh, and I have something right in the middle of my teeth the whole time. We'll see you guys at the end of the night. Alright, so it's now 6:30, so it's been on for about 9 hours. And I'm looking a little rough right now. We did yoga. I just ran around to 2 different camera stores. So I've been like, you know, checking it out in the car mirror and stuff, ignoring my under eyes because it has clearly wiped off my under eyes. They're coming through and I look just fabulous right now, but just looking at my skin, I do feel like it looks a little bit oily almost. I don't think this one is super long lasting or anything, but like I said, if I just wanted to wear it for a few hours, which is how I usually wear kind of products like these, that wouldn't be as much of an issue. But I am getting a little bit of creasing now on my upper lip area, a little bit around my mouth, and around my nose it's creasing a little bit right there. My forehead just looks, like I said, a little bit oily or something. If you had oily skin, I think this one would probably be a hot mess on you. You'd definitely have to set your entire face. I love how it looks for the first few hours. I would need to mix the shade, but just as like a quick few hour kind of wear tinted moisturizer, I really like this one. I don't think it's a all day long kind of in place of foundation product. Maybe if you set it, it would last a little bit better, or if I set my face with a setting spray. Usually I would use like a Makeup Forever Mist and Set or something with the product like this, just to lock everything in. I still don't think I would set my entire face because my skin looks horrible with powder. So I probably would try this with a primer underneath and then a setting spray and see how it wears. I just love the way this feels. It does feel good. There's something about this that I just feel like my skin feels like I'm wearing more of like a skin treatment almost. So if you've tried this one, let me know what you think of it down below. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Foundation Friday. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye. I don't know why you're having so many issues. I know it's Sunday. No one wants to work. Oh my gosh. Hello. I'm right here.